Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. We now have a Discord. It's just getting started, but we have some future plans coming, like events for Discord members and Patreon members. Time once more for another dive into the underappreciated fighting game Darkstalkers with Rikuo. Deep underneath the Amazon rainforest lies a secret ocean, where a race of aquatic humanoids lived, ruled by their emperor Rikuo. Rikuo ruled with kindness and protected his people, but he couldn't protect them from the environment itself. When Pyron, an evil conqueror from the world Hellstorm, arrived on Earth, he caused massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions to prepare this new world for his rule. It was because of this that Rikuo watched as his kingdom was ripped apart. Unable to stop it, Rikuo was left as its only survivor. As time went on, he searched for other beings like himself and eventually found a new life as a hero amongst his new people. While some would believe Rikuo is a ripoff of the creature from the Black Lagoon, he is far more than that. Because of his lineage, he has a host of abilities beyond aquatic survival and enhanced physical capabilities with razor-sharp claws. These include water control, control over sea life, poison glands, extendable tongue, echolocation, shape-shifting into different aquatic forms, and sonic attacks. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse, with some spells from Xanathar's Guide, because it has really good spells. Some of the best in D&D, actually. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so watch those minimums if you use another system. Make Wisdom 15, Dex 14, Intelligence 13, Con 12, Strength 10, and we're going to be dumping Charisma with an 8. It's not important for this build, plus you're a freaky fish man, so good chance people will not like you anyway. Rikuo is a merfolk. We got two lineages to choose from that can be merfolk, and we're going to go with Sea Elf from Mordenkainen's. You have a swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Child of the Sea lets you breathe normally in water, and you have resistance to cold damage. Dark Vision lets you see in darkness as if it's dim light out to 60 feet. Fey Ancestry gives you advantage on saving throws against being charmed or to end the charm condition. Keen Senses gives you the skill Perception. Friend of the Sea lets you communicate with beasts that have a swimming speed, but they can't communicate back. Trance makes it so you don't sleep and can't be put to sleep magically. Your long rests are 4 hours long, where you maintain consciousness. When you finish a long rest, you can choose 2 proficiencies from weapons or tools, and you can retain these proficiencies till you finish your next long rest. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Dex and +1 into Wisdom. For your origin feat, Alert enhances your senses. You now add your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls. Also, you can switch places in initiative order with a willing ally before combat begins if neither of you are incapacitated. For skills, take Athletics and Survival. For your final proficiency, take what you want. Level 1 Druids start things off with 2 skills. Take Nature and Animal Handling. You are proficient in simple weapons, light armor, shields, herbalism kit, and the saving throws Intelligence and Wisdom. Druidic gives you a new language, Druidic. This language lets you leave a magical message for other druids and gives you the spell Speak with Animals. This spell lets you speak with beasts for 10 minutes. Spellcasting gives you more spells. Your spellcasting modifier is Wisdom. You know 2 cantrips and 4 first level spells, and you get your used spell slots back at the end of a long rest. Primal Order gives you a sacred role. You'll want Magician. This gives you a bonus cantrip and lets you add your Wisdom modifier to skill checks using Arcana and Nature. For your free cantrip, Thorn Whip lets you lash out with your tongue, making a melee spell attack out to 30 feet, dealing 1d6 piercing damage, and then pulling the creature you hit towards you by 10 feet. For your spells, Poison Spray lets you spit poison at a creature within 30 feet, dealing 1d10 poison damage on a hit. Cure Wounds heals you 2d8 plus your wisdom modifier. Animal Friendship targets one beast within 30 feet and forces a wisdom save. If they fail, they are charmed by you for 24 hours. Create or Destroy Water lets you create or destroy up to 10 gallons of water within 30 feet of you. Long Strider adds 10 feet to your total movement for 1 hour. Thunderclap unleashes a sonic scream hitting everyone within 5 feet of you and forcing a con save. If they fail, they take 1d6 thunder damage. Level 2 Druids learn Wild Shape. With a bonus action, you can shapeshift into beasts of CR quarter or lower, and you now know up to 4 beast forms that you can transform into. These forms can have a flying speed, you stay in this form for a total number of hours equal to your Druid level, and you can do this twice per long rest but regain 1 use after a short rest. When you transform, you gain temporary HP equal to your Druid level, you can't cast spells but this will not drop concentration, and you assume the game stats of the beast. Wild Companion lets you cast Find Familiar without material components by burning a use of Wild Shape or using a spell slot. Find Familiar lets you summon a small beast to act as your familiar. When you cast this spell using Wild Companion, the familiar stays until you finish a long rest. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 3 Druids now have access to their subclass. Circle of the Sea from the player's handbook is going to give you control over water. Circle of the Sea spells gives you more spells as you level up. Wrath of the Sea calls on the moisture in the air to surround you. With a bonus action, you burn a use of Wild Shape and form a sphere of mist around you that radiates 5 feet in all directions for 10 minutes. While this is active, you can use your bonus action each turn to force a creature within 5 feet of you to make a con save. If they fail, they take cold damage that equals your wisdom modifier in d6s, and then you can push them back 15 feet. You also now have second level spells. For your circle spells, Thunder Wave unleashes a scream in a 15-foot cube from you, forcing a con save on everyone within the cube. If they fail, they take 2d8 thunder damage and are pushed back by 10 feet. Shatter lets out a scream out to 60 feet from you and explodes into a sonic boom that is a 10-foot radius sphere. Every creature within the sphere must make a con save. If they fail, they take 3d8 thunder damage. Fog Cloud condenses the moisture in the air, forming a 20-foot radius sphere out to 120 feet from you, creating a dense fog that heavily obscures the area for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Gust of Wind isn't you, but okay, who cares. You create a strong wind that forms into a 60-foot long, 10-foot wide line for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. The wind makes it harder to move against it. Ray of Frost launches a blast of freezing water out to 60 feet, causing 1d8 cold damage on a hit, and reduces the creature's speed by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. For your new spell, Hold Person forms a water prison around one humanoid within 60 feet, forcing a wisdom save. If they fail, they are paralyzed for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. They can retake the save at the end of each of their turns, ending the spell on a success. Level 4 Druids earn our first ability score improvement, Bump Up Wisdom for better spell attack and DC. You can now Wild Shape into creatures of CR half or lower and know 6 beast forms. For your new spells, Primal Savagery from Xanathar sharpens your claws for a melee spell attack, dealing 1d10 acid damage on a hit. For your next spell, take what you want. Level 1 monks start things off with unarmored defense. Now when not wearing armor, your AC is 10 plus dex plus your wisdom modifiers. Martial arts improves your unarmed strikes when you're not wearing armor. Your unarmed strikes can now be dex based for attack and damage, you can make an unarmed strike with a bonus action, and your unarmed strikes deal martial arts dice in damage, which starts off at a d6. You've reached character level 5, raise your proficiency bonus to +3. Ray of Frost, Primal Savagery, Poison Spray, Thunderclap, and Thorn Whip now deal 2 damage dice each. Level 2 monks gain unarmored movement. Now when not wearing armor, your movement speed is increased, bringing your total walking speed to 40 feet. Remember, your swimming speed always matches your walking speed. Monk's Focus grants you focus points that equal your monk level. These points are spent to perform special features, and you regain all used focus points at the end of a short or long rest. For what you can spend these focus points on, Flurry of Blows costs 1 focus point, and now you can make 2 unarmed strikes with a single bonus action. Patient Defense turns Disengage into a bonus action, and you can spend 1 focus point to use disengage and dodge as a single bonus action. Step of the Wind turns dash into a bonus action, and you can spend 1 focus point to use dash and disengage as a single bonus action and double your jump distance. Uncanny Metabolism lets you regain all used focus points back when you roll for initiative. When you do this, you also regain HP equal to your monk level plus a martial arts dice. You can do this once per long rest. Level 3 monks now have access to their subclass. Open Hand, also from the player's handbook, is going to improve your punches. Open Hand Technique adds 1 effect to your unarmed strikes made with a flurry of blows. For these effects, you can choose from: you can force a strength saving throw, pushing a creature back 15 feet if they fail, force a dex save, knocking them prone if they fail, or stop attacks of opportunity until the start of its next turn. Deflect Attack reduces the damage you take from attacks that deal bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing damage with a reaction. This reaction equals 1d10 plus your dex modifier plus monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0 and have an open hand, which you don't use weapons so you will, you can spend 1 focus point to redirect the attack. If it was a melee attack, you redirect it towards a creature within 5 feet, or 60 feet if it was a ranged attack. Level 4 monks earn another ability score improvement, Start Raising Dex, for more attack, damage, and AC. Slow Fall lets you reduce falling damage as a reaction by 5 times your monk level. Level 5 monks receive extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Stunning Strike lets you knock the wind out of your enemies. When you hit with a melee attack, you can spend 1 focus point to force a con save, and if they fail, they are stunned until the start of your next turn. If they pass the save, their speed is halved until the start of your next turn, and the next attack against them is at advantage. A stunned creature automatically fails strength and dex saves. Attacks made against them are at advantage. They can't speak, can't maintain spells, have disadvantage on initiative rolls, and they can't take actions, bonus actions, or reaction. Finally, your martial arts dice are now a d8. You've hit character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus up to +4. Level 6 monks learn Empowered Strikes. Your unarmed strikes now deal force damage. Open Hand monks learn Wholeness of Body. You can heal yourself with a bonus action equal to a martial arts dice plus your wisdom modifier. You can do this a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier per long rest. Your unarmored movement is now 45 feet. Level 5 druids gain Wild Resurgence. Once on each of your turns, you can burn a spell slot to regain a use of Wild Shape, or you can burn a use of Wild Shape to regain 1 level 1 spell slot. You also gain 3rd level spells. For your new circle spells, Water Breathing grants up to 10 willing creatures the ability to breathe underwater for 24 hours. Lightning Bolt isn't you, but it's a really good spell. You fire a bolt of lightning in a 100-foot long line, forcing a dex save on everyone within the line. If they fail, they take 8d6 lightning damage. For your new spells, Tidal Wave from Xanathar's unleashes a fury of water. You summon a 30-foot long, 10-foot tall, and 10-foot wide wave. Each creature within the wave must make a dex save or take 48 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. Conjure Animal summons a swarm of sea creatures to you within 60 feet. When you are within 5 feet of the swarm, you have advantage on strength saves, and when you move on your turn, it will move also. Whenever the swarm moves within 10 feet of another creature, you can force a dex save. If they fail, they take 3d10 slashing damage. You must maintain the spell for up to 10 minutes. Your character level 11, Thorn Whip, Primal Savagery, Poison Spray, Thunderclap, and Ray of Frost now deal 3 damage dice each. Level 6 Sea Druids now have Aquatic Affinity. Your Wrath of the Sea is increased to 10 feet. You now have 3 uses of Wild Shape. For your new spell, Wall of Water summons a protective wall of water within 60 feet. This wall can be 30 feet long, 10 feet high, and 1 foot thick, or 20 feet high and 20 foot diameter and 1 foot thick. The wall is difficult terrain, ranged attacks going past the wall are at disadvantage, and fire damage is halved. Spells that deal cold damage freezes the wall in a 5-foot square. You must maintain the spell for 10 minutes. Level 7 Druids learn Elemental Fury. You now add your Wisdom modifier to the damage of your cantrips. You also learn 4th level spells. For your new spell, Control Water is pretty self-explanatory. You control the water in a cube that is 100 feet on each side. You can cause the area to flood, redirect the water, part the water, or create whirlpools that deal damage. Ice Storm freezes the moisture within a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder, forcing a dex save on everyone within. If they fail, they take 2d10 bludgeoning damage and 4d6 cold damage. For your new spell, Watery Sphere summons a 5-foot radius sphere out to 90 feet from you for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. The sphere hovers up to 10 feet off the ground, and with an action you can move the sphere up to 30 feet. Any creature within the sphere must make a strength save or become restrained within. While trapped within the sphere, the creature can retake the save at the end of their turns to end the spell. You've hit character level 13, raise your proficiency bonus again to +5. Level 8 Druids earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Wisdom. You can now wild shape into beasts of CR1 or lower, you know 8 beast forms, and you can assume the form of a beast that can fly, but you'll only use this for water creatures. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 9 Druids receive 5th level spells. For your circle spells, Hold Monster is an upgraded version of Hold Person, but can now target any creature within 90 feet, not just humanoids. Conjure Elemental summons a water elemental to help you. You summon a large spirit in the form of a water elemental out to 60 feet for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. When a creature enters the elemental space or starts its turn within 5 feet of the elemental, you can force a dex save. If they fail, they take 8d8 cold damage and are now restrained by the elemental and must retake the save at the start of each of their turns, or they will take 48 cold damage on a failure. If they succeed the save, the spell ends. If the elemental has a creature restrained, it cannot restrain another creature. For your new spells, Maelstrom floods an area with raging water. This area is 5 feet deep and is a 30-foot radius. The area is now difficult terrain and any creature within must make a dex save or take 66 bludgeoning damage and be pulled towards the center. For your next spell, take what you want. Level 10 Sea Druids get Stormborn. You now have a flying speed equal to your walking speed for some reason, and you have resistance to lightning and thunder damage. For your new spells, Shape Water from Xanathars allows you to shape water within a 5-foot cube, such as changing the flow, forming simple shapes, changing colors, or freezing it. You get one more spell here, take what you want. Level 11 Druids now have 6 level spells. For your new spell, take what you want again because we're actually good on spells, and in fact I don't really care what you take. You've hit character level 17, max out your proficiency bonus at +6. Thorn Whip, Primal Savagery, Poison Spray, Thunderclap, and Ray of Frost now deal 4 damage dice each. Level 12 Druids earn our final ability score improvements, Cap Off Dex. Level 13 Druids learn 7th level spells. For your final spell, take what you want. Our final level is level 14 Druids and Circle of the Sea get Oceanic Gift. You can place your Wrath of the Sea around a willing creature within 60 feet, and if you burn 2 uses of Wild Shape, you can place your Wrath of the Sea on yourself and a willing creature within 60 feet. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 13, Wisdom 20, Charisma 8. Your total class levels are Druid 14, Monk 6. Let's dive in. You are a vicious fighter. Your unarmed strikes are dealing 1d8 plus 5 force damage, and you can attack up to 4 times. You can unleash Sonic Blast out to 60 feet, spit poison, freeze water, slash with your claws, and unleash tidal waves and whirlpools. Speaking of water, you have complete control over it. You can change its direction, shape it, flood an area, and can use it to capture enemies. You have a swimming speed of 45 feet, can bring that to 55 feet, can breathe underwater. You can communicate with sea creatures, summon sea creatures, your initiative is +11, and your AC is 20. Downside. You have a ton of concentration spells. Seriously, you have a ton of them, but that's normal for spellcasters. Taking the average, you also just have over 120 HP, which is really going to be testing that AC of 20. Finally, your charisma is garbage. Social interactions will be pretty bad for you, and your save is just terrible. Time to start your search for a new home and people, and get revenge on the one that took everything from you. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Matthew Denz, Jonathan Haynes, Malin Anderson, and Daniel Saftler. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.